Procrastination is a thief. It sneaks into your life silently, disguising itself as rest, waiting, or harmless delay, but behind its mask is destruction. It steals your time, your opportunities, your dreams, and your peace. It convinces you that tomorrow is the right time, that later will be easier, that waiting won't hurt. But every time you listen, you surrender a piece of your potential. Today, right now, is the moment you say goodbye to procrastination, once and for all. You were not born to hesitate. You were not created to sit on ideas or let your goals collect dust. The fire inside you was meant to burn with action, with courage, with relentless pursuit. And yet, time and again, you pause. You wait, you delay. You tell yourself you'll start when you feel ready, when you have more energy, when conditions are perfect. But that day never comes because readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. Discipline does not wait for perfect conditions. Action does not depend on emotion. The successful act despite fear, fatigue, and imperfection. They move, and in movement they find power. Think of every time you said you'd do something but didn't. Every promise you made to yourself that you broke. Every goal you set that still sits untouched. That weight you said you'd lose. That book you said you'd write. That business you said you'd start. That dream you said you'd chase. They're still there, waiting, buried under excuses and distractions. But here's the truth. Your life will not wait forever. The clock is ticking. Every moment you delay is a moment you'll never get back. You must understand that procrastination is not a time management issue. It's a mindset issue. It's rooted in fear, doubt, and a lack of clarity. You procrastinate because you're afraid to fail, afraid to succeed, afraid of judgment, afraid of discomfort. But growth is on the other side of discomfort. Power is on the other side of action. You don't need more time. You need more courage. You don't need a better schedule. You need a better mindset. Your breakthrough won't come when the calendar clears up. It'll come the moment you stop giving your power away to delay. You have to rise above your excuses. They sound smart. They feel valid. But they are lies. Your mind will always try to protect you from discomfort. It will offer distraction, entertainment, rationalization. It will try to convince you that rest is productivity, that delay is preparation, that you're just not ready yet, but you have to see through it. You have to become stronger than your impulses. You have to choose action when your mind screams for comfort. You have to decide, once and for all, that procrastination has no place in your future. There is no easy path. There is only the path you walk with intention or the one you avoid with regret. You don't beat procrastination by waiting for motivation. You beat it by doing what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. The secret is in starting. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates progress. Progress creates results, and results fuel belief. But it all begins with a single step, a single choice to begin, that report you've been putting off. Start it, that conversation you've been avoiding, initiate it, that habit you've been resisting, build it. You must train yourself to act. When the alarm rings, get up. When the task appears, do it. When fear whispers, move anyway. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Winners don't wait to feel ready. They act and let readiness catch up. Every time you choose action over delay, you strengthen your will. Every time you follow through, you prove to yourself that you're capable, and over time, those small victories become unstoppable momentum. You don't need a new year or a Monday to begin. You don't need the perfect strategy or all the answers. You just need to start. You just need to commit. You just need to stop lying to yourself about tomorrow. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not yours. All you have is today, right now, this breath. This moment, procrastination has stolen enough. It's time to take your power back. Imagine what your life would look like if you took action every time you were tempted to delay. Imagine the body you'd have, the skills you'd master, the goals you'd crush. Imagine the peace you'd feel knowing you were doing your best every single day. That life is within your reach, but only if you stop letting procrastination make your decisions. You can't live an extraordinary life with an ordinary work ethic. You can't reach your highest potential while entertaining your lowest habits, and procrastination is one of the lowest. You are not weak. You are not lazy. You are powerful beyond measure, but that power means nothing unless it is used. You have to direct it. You have to own it. You have to apply it with relentless consistency. One small act of discipline today, repeated tomorrow and the day after, will snowball into transformation. Stop trying to change everything in one leap. Just take the first step and keep going. Progress is the result of persistence, not perfection. You must also learn to silence the noise. Social media, entertainment, notifications. These are tools of delay. They rob you of focus, of depth, of purpose. Every time you scroll instead of act, you lose. Every time you binge instead of build, you lose. Every time you entertain distractions, you say no to your destiny. Say goodbye to the shallow and hello to the meaningful. Say goodbye to being busy and hello to being effective. Say goodbye to reacting and start creating. It won't be easy. There will be days you fall, moments you slip, times you relapse into delay, but don't let that define you. Get back up, recommit. Every moment is a new chance to act. Every breath is a new beginning. You only fail when you quit. As long as you're willing to fight, you will find your rhythm. You will build your consistency. You will break the chains of procrastination and become a person of action. Don't wait for inspiration. Be your own spark. Set goals and hold yourself accountable. Create a system. Set deadlines. Eliminate distractions. Surround yourself with action takers. Reward progress. Track your habits. But most importantly, keep showing up. Because that's what separates the dreamers from the doers, the finishers from the starters, the legends from the forgotten. Consistency, discipline, action. There is no glory in potential, only in progress. No pride in planning, only in execution. You don't get rewarded for what you thought about doing. You get rewarded for what you finish. The world doesn't care about your dreams until you bring them to life. And that requires effort. Relentless, unapologetic, daily effort. It's not about grinding for one day. It's about showing up every day, putting in the reps, moving the needle, progress, no matter how small. Your future self is watching. Every action you take today is a gift to that version of you, or a curse. You choose. Will you keep betraying your potential, or will you honor it with action? Will you keep postponing your greatness? Or will you claim it now, today, with full force? Say goodbye to the comfort zone. Say goodbye to the waiting game. Say goodbye to the lies that keep you stuck. Say goodbye to the identity of a procrastinator. And say hello to the person you were meant to be: focused, driven, purposeful, committed, unstoppable. Remember, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. If your system is based on delay, you will delay. But if your system is built on action, you will move forward no matter what. Design a life that forces you to act, create rituals, build habits, set boundaries, make it easier to win than to lose. There's a fire in you that has waited long enough. A purpose that is tired of being ignored, a gift that the world is desperate for. You are not here to waste time. You are here to make an impact, to create, to grow, to conquer. You don't have to be the smartest or the most talented. But you do have to be consistent. You do have to be intentional. You do have to take action over and over and over again. Every great accomplishment in history started with a single step, a single decision, a single act of courage, and every one of them required sacrifice, discipline, resilience. You are no different. The mountain may be high, but your legs are strong. The path may be long, but your heart is ready. The dream may be far, but your time is now. You can't keep waiting for motivation. Motivation fades, but habits remain. Discipline remains. Identity remains. You must become the kind of person who does not negotiate with procrastination, who does not tolerate delay, who acts regardless of emotion. That identity, once solidified, becomes your foundation, and from that foundation you can build anything. so look in the mirror and make a vow. No more delay, no more excuses, no more later. Your time is now, your life is now, your legacy is being written with every choice you make. Let it be a story of action, a story of courage, a story of relentless pursuit. Say goodbye to procrastination and hello to the best version of yourself. The world is waiting for what you have to offer. Don't make it wait any longer. Because looking back means you're entertaining the past you, the one who let fear, laziness, and doubt hold the reins. But now you're rewriting your story, not tomorrow, not next week. Now, every second you hesitate is a second you could be building something extraordinary. So leave behind the version of you that stayed silent when they should have spoken, that stayed still when they should have moved, that delayed when they should have acted. That version of you is gone, buried beneath the weight of purpose and a newfound intensity. The new you is here to move mountains, and no, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You just need to show up again and again until showing up becomes who you are. The person you admire, the one who executes with ease, didn't start that way. They fought through distraction, they silenced doubt, they acted before they felt ready. You must do the same. This journey will be hard. You'll be tempted to fall back into comfort, but comfort never made legends. Comfort creates ordinary. Discomfort shapes greatness. Every time you feel the pull to postpone, remind yourself, comfort is the enemy. You see, procrastination isn't passive, it's active sabotage. It kills dreams quietly. You won't even hear the damage it's doing until you look around and realize you're behind. Behind on your goals, behind on your life, behind on the person you swore you'd become. But not anymore. That cycle ends now. You take the reins today. You commit to doing the hard things, to choosing the work, not the wish, the grind, not the delay, the result, not the excuse. You are not average. You are not ordinary, and procrastination has no business trying to convince you otherwise. You have something special in you, but it can only be uncovered through consistent, decisive action. Waiting won't uncover it. Thinking about it won't uncover it. Only doing will, and even when you feel like it's not working, keep going. Even when no one's watching, keep going, especially then, because those unseen hours are where greatness is born. Success isn't loud. It's silent hours of deep work. It's saying no to everything that doesn't serve your purpose. It's pushing through when others quit. It's sacrificing comfort for meaning. It's what you do when no one's clapping, when no one's cheering, when it's just you, the grind, and the mirror. That's where you transform. That's where you say goodbye to procrastination not once, but 1,000 times, until it no longer has a place in your life. It's going to hurt. There will be days when every cell in your body wants to postpone, when your mind whispers all the reasons you should quit. You'll have doubts and you'll feel tired. But what separates the elite from the average is simple. The elite do it anyway. They don't wait for clarity, they create it. They don't wait for strength, they build it. They don't wait for opportunities, they make them, and so must you. This moment is your reset. From here forward, your life will be marked by execution. By action, by movement. You don't wait anymore. You move, you rise. You take the first step even if your legs shake. You write the first word, take the first rep, make the first call. And when you're done with that, you take the next step and the next. Because success doesn't happen in a leap, it happens in inches. Consistent, focused, disciplined inches. Those inches add up. That daily discipline stacks, and suddenly, the person who used to wait is gone. In their place stands a finisher, a doer, a champion of discipline, and people will ask how you did it. They'll want to know your secret, and all you'll say is, I stopped waiting. You stopped waiting for motivation and created it through movement. You stopped waiting for energy and earned it through habit. You stopped waiting for the perfect time and realized every moment is perfect when used with purpose. You stopped asking what if and started answering what now. That's what separates you. That's why you're rising, because while others think, you do. While others dream, you execute. While others scroll, you grind. That difference creates distance, and that distance makes all the difference. So let them sleep, let them wait, let them talk. While they do, you build. You wake up early, you dive into the deep work, you master your mind, you train your body, you push your limits, and each day you become more focused, more consistent, more aligned. You become the kind of person who no longer entertains procrastination because you've tasted the power of progress. You've felt the fire of commitment. You've seen what happens when you move. Every little action is proof that you've changed, that you've evolved, that you've traded wishful thinking for disciplined doing. You no longer speak about what you're going to do. You're already doing it. You no longer fantasize about goals. You're living them, and if there's still distance to go, good. That means more action, more progress, more growth. And you're not afraid of that anymore. You welcome it. You chase it, you thrive in it. People will see the results and call you lucky, but they won't see the hours of work, the internal battles, the war against comfort that you've fought and won daily. Let them call it what they want. You'll know the truth. You earned it. You sacrificed for it. You said goodbye to procrastination when others married it. And that's why you're different. So stay the course. Hold the line. When distractions come, you say no. When the temptation to delay whispers, you rise louder. When the impulse to quit shows up, you laugh. Because you've trained yourself to move regardless. You've mastered the moment between thought and action. You've closed the gap between idea and execution, and that mastery will take you farther than talent ever could. You don't owe the world an explanation. Let your work speak. Let your discipline scream. Let your consistency inspire. And when people ask what changed, just smile and say, I stopped letting procrastination lead my life. Your life is not a rehearsal. This is the one shot you get, one chance, one ride, and procrastination wants you to waste it. But you won't, not anymore. From this day forward, your story is one of action, of discipline, of follow through. You will not be remembered as the person who planned, but as the person who finished. Not as the one who waited, but the one who moved, not the one who hoped, but the one who acted. This is your legacy, built one decision at a time, one step, one push, one choice to act when it would have been easier not to. That's the difference. That's the path. That's the mission. And once you've made that declaration, not in words but in action, you begin to feel the shift. It's subtle at first, almost invisible, but deep down you know something is different. You feel yourself thinking less and doing more. You catch yourself completing tasks the moment they arise instead of letting them sit like dead weight on your to-do list. And each time you follow through, your confidence grows. Not because the task is massive, but because you're becoming someone who finishes what they start. That kind of self-respect, it's earned, not gifted, and you're earning it every single day. You stop needing people to validate your worth. You stop searching for external motivation. You realize that power has always been inside you. It was just buried beneath hesitation, doubt, and delay, but now you're clear. You know exactly what you're capable of. Not because you fantasize about it, but because you've proven it again and again through deliberate, focused action. And people will begin to notice. They'll see you moving, executing, achieving, and they'll wonder what changed. They'll see you calm, collected, and progressing when everyone else is stuck in distraction. And they'll ask you how. They'll want the secret, and you'll say it plainly, truthfully, confidently. I stopped giving procrastination a seat at my table. The table of your life is now reserved for progress, purpose, passion, and execution. There's no space for hesitation, no room for fear. Your days are planned with intention. Your nights are marked by satisfaction, not regret. You go to sleep knowing you gave it your all, and you wake up with fire in your chest, not because life is easy, but because you're aligned with your purpose and acting on it every single day. No more mornings filled with guilt over what you didn't do. No more late nights riddled with anxiety over what you put off. Your mind is clear, your steps are firm, your momentum is undeniable. You are no longer your own obstacle. You are your own solution. That doesn't mean you'll never feel the pull to procrastinate again. You will, everyone does, but now you'll recognize it as the illusion it is. You'll hear its whisper and shut it down because you know what it costs. You've tasted life with and without procrastination, and you've chosen the version where you win. And here's the most beautiful part. When you lead with action, when you live with discipline, you inspire others to do the same. Your life becomes a message. Your execution becomes a ripple effect. You break chains not only for yourself, but for those watching you. Your children, your peers, your team, your community, they see you acting, and it gives them permission to act too. Procrastination, once the silent thief in your life, becomes your defeated enemy. You've exposed its lies. You've risen above its tricks. You've walked away from its chains, and now you are free, free to build, free to dream and do, free to become the fullest, most powerful, most focused version of yourself. So build your habits like a fortress, guard your focus like treasure, treat your time like a gift, and move every day in every way without hesitation. When others make excuses, you make progress. When others pause, you push. When others delay, you deliver. That is who you are now, not by luck, not by chance, but by choice. You made the decision, you took control, you committed to the work, and now you're unstoppable. So look at your life. Look at everything you've put off, and one by one, start knocking those things down. With each task completed, each fear confronted, each excuse silenced, you reclaim your power. With each day lived with purpose, you rise. You elevate. You move closer to the life you were born to live. You didn't come this far to wait. You didn't survive everything you've been through to hesitate now. You didn't overcome the darkness just to delay stepping into your light. Say goodbye to procrastination. Goodbye to the person who settled. Goodbye to the version of you who watched from the sidelines. Goodbye to wasted days and restless nights. Goodbye to guilt, shame, and that nagging feeling of not living up to your potential. And say hello, loudly, clearly, boldly, to progress. Say hello to discipline. Say hello to results. Say hello to waking up with purpose and ending your days with pride. Say hello to who you truly are. A person of action, a person of focus, a person who gets it done. This is your moment, not next month, not when you're more motivated, not when you're less tired. This moment, right now, is the moment that defines the rest of your life. The moment you say, I will act, I will move, I will build, I will win. Because when you eliminate procrastination, what's left is power, energy, clarity, and progress. And when you begin this new chapter, you'll quickly realize how much time you truly have. Time that used to vanish into endless scrolling, shallow distractions, overthinking, or pointless planning. You'll see those hours for what they are now, an opportunity. Blocks of potential waiting to be shaped into results. And the more you seize them, the more momentum you gain. It becomes a rhythm, a lifestyle, a quiet, unwavering force pulling you forward toward everything you were once too hesitant to chase. You begin to honor your commitments, not just to others, but to yourself. That's the most powerful promise of all, because when you keep your word to yourself, your confidence skyrockets. You begin to trust yourself again. You no longer doubt your ability to start, to finish, to thrive. You become your own ally, your own motivator, your own proof that consistency works. That's where true strength comes from, not from external validation, but from inner certainty, the knowledge that you will do what needs to be done, no matter what. And you stop glorifying perfection. You stop chasing flawless execution. You embrace messy progress, ugly first drafts, imperfect starts, because all of it still beats doing nothing. Every small, imperfect action moves the needle forward. And that's what matters now. Forward, always forward. You don't freeze anymore when things aren't ideal. You act, adapt, adjust, and advance. That's your new cycle, not think, delay, wait, but move him. Prove, repeat. People will misread your new urgency. They'll call you intense. They'll say you've changed, and you'll smile because they're right. You have changed. You've stopped tolerating the things that once held you back. You've stopped romanticizing comfort. You've stopped negotiating with fear. You've changed into someone who knows the cost of delay and refuses to pay it anymore. And with that clarity, you'll start seeing through your old patterns. You'll hear the old excuses. I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired. It's not the right time. And you'll immediately recognize them for what they are, lies. Lies designed to keep you safe, small, stagnant. Lies that may have once worked, but not anymore because you've outgrown them, you've elevated, you've stepped into a higher standard for yourself. You no longer allow your goals to gather dust. You bring them to life through action. You breathe energy into your dreams through daily work, and the results speak volumes. You start checking off goals that once seemed distant. You start building a life that once felt unreachable, and you realize this power was always in your hands. It just needed to be activated through courage, through movement, through discipline, and the more you move, the more you fall in love with the process. It's not just about the destination anymore, it's about who you become along the way. You fall in love with waking up early, getting to work, finishing what you started, beating your previous best. You fall in love with discipline, with routine, with focus. These things used to feel restrictive. Now they feel like freedom because they are. They free you from the chains of procrastination. They unlock the life you were meant to live. You realize that discipline is not punishment, it's power. It's the ultimate form of self-respect. It's proof that you value your time, your potential, your future, and every day you act with discipline, you strengthen that respect. You reinforce your identity as a finisher, a doer, a leader, and slowly, the world starts responding. Doors begin to open, opportunities show up, people take notice, not because you talked about your goals, but because you backed them up with relentless effort, and even when setbacks hit, and they will, you don't crumble like before. You don't retreat into avoidance. You face it, you assess it, you adjust, and you keep moving. That's the mindset that replaces procrastination. Unwavering progress, forward through failure, forward through resistance. Forward no matter what, because nothing is more powerful than a person who refuses to wait, who refuses to postpone their life, their growth, their greatness. That's who you are now, a person of urgency, purpose, and conviction. This isn't just a motivational moment. This is your transformation, from thinker to doer, from talker to executor, from dreamer to achiever. You are stepping into a new identity, an identity built not on potential, but on proof. The proof of what happens when someone refuses to delay their destiny, when someone takes ownership of their time, their focus, their mission. And the most profound shift happens not in your results, but in your identity. You no longer look in the mirror and see someone who might get things done. You see someone who does. Someone who acts with urgency, thinks with clarity, and lives with direction. You don't wait for opportunities. You prepare so thoroughly that when they show up, you're already ready. You no longer envy those who are ahead. You study them, learn from them, and apply faster than anyone else. You move with purpose while others hesitate in analysis. Procrastination, once your master, is now powerless against you. Why? Because you understand the cost. You've experienced the pain of delay, the sting of regret, the weight of what if, and you refuse to go back. You refuse to relive that feeling ever again. You've chosen peace over panic, discipline over delay, power over paralysis. And that decision is a line in the sand that will forever define who you are becoming. Each day becomes an opportunity to solidify this identity. Every time you make your bed, complete your workout, follow through on a promise, big or small, you're casting a vote for the future you. A vote for the version of yourself that doesn't postpone, doesn't overthink, and doesn't make excuses. Every task completed becomes a brick in the fortress of self, belief you're building, and that belief becomes unshakable because it's grounded in evidence. You are no longer playing defense in life. You're playing offense. You're creating momentum, initiating action, shaping your circumstances rather than being shaped by them. You're not reacting to life. You're designing it. And that's a position of power few people experience, because most are too busy waiting for confidence, waiting for a break, waiting for the right mood, the perfect day, or the permission of others. But not you. You're done waiting, done watching, done wondering. You're building, you're leading, you're transforming. And here's what separates you from your old self. You've stopped caring how hard it is. You've stopped negotiating with the grind. You've stopped hoping for ease and started embracing challenge. Because you understand something crucial now. The pain of discipline is always lighter than the pain of regret. And each time you push through that resistance, you reinforce this truth. You gain power over your thoughts, your time, and ultimately your life. Even when your motivation is low, and it will be, you keep showing up. Because your actions are no longer tied to how you feel. They're tied to who you've chosen to become. Your feelings don't dictate your day. Your standards do. And those standards are now too high to allow procrastination back in. You've raised the bar, you've locked in your focus, you've trained your mind to act decisively, and in doing so, you've changed everything. You've built discipline so strong that it pulls you forward even when you're tired. You've built mental toughness so sharp that distractions bounce off you like dull arrows. You've built habits so aligned with your goals that success becomes inevitable. Because every move you make, every step you take, is backed by clarity, intention, and unwavering commitment. You don't need perfect circumstances. You just need progress. You don't need constant motivation. You just need discipline. You don't need permission. You already gave it to yourself. So no matter what's going on around you, chaos, doubt, uncertainty, you stay the course. Because you've trained for this, you've rehearsed this mindset, you've wired it into your identity. Procrastination may whisper again, but you no longer answer. That voice has lost its power over you. You've replaced it with a louder, stronger one that says, do it now, show up now, create now, and the results start to pile up, slowly at first, then faster. Your to-do list gets shorter. Your calendar becomes a battlefield of wins. Your environment shifts to match your energy. People begin to trust you more. Opportunities multiply. Confidence explodes because the world respects action. It responds to movement. It rewards the bold. You'll look back one day and hardly recognize the person who waited, who feared, who doubted. That version of you didn't lack talent or intelligence. They just lacked belief. But that changed the moment you decided to move in spite of fear. The moment you took that first imperfect action. The moment you understood that success is built in minutes, not in months. It's built every time you say yes to the work and no to the excuse. So don't let up. Keep pushing, keep building, keep showing the world who you are, one finished task at a time, because now when the alarm goes off, you rise. When the doubt shows up, you act anyway. When the excuse creeps in, you shut it down. And when the old urge to wait resurfaces, you remember exactly why you started. You didn't change for comfort. You changed for freedom, and freedom only comes through doing. You've said goodbye to procrastination. And now, you say hello to results, to mastery, to legacy, to living every single day like it matters, because it does. This is your time, this is your life, and the power is in your hands. And as you continue on this path, the victories stack. Not just the big wins, but the small ones, the ones no one sees. The early mornings you didn't want to face, but did anyway. The tasks you knocked out before the deadline. The moments you felt overwhelmed, but still pressed forward. These are the silent triumphs that build an unstoppable momentum. They harden your resolve. They forge the unshakable belief that you are capable of doing what must be done, without waiting, without whining, without needing a perfect plan. That belief becomes your armor. In a world full of talkers, you are a doer. In a world full of hesitation, you move with precision. In a world drowning in excuses, you are a shining example of execution. Not once, not occasionally, but daily, deliberately, with intention, because you've made the shift that most never make. You no longer chase the feeling of motivation. You chase the outcome. You no longer need to feel like it. You've trained yourself to be it, and that identity starts showing up everywhere, in your health, in your career, in your relationships, in your goals, because procrastination doesn't just steal time. It steals self-respect. And now that you've reclaimed that respect, everything begins to align. You say yes only to what matters. You say no to the distractions that once held you hostage. You become a gatekeeper of your own energy, your own focus, your own future. The more you live like this, the more natural it becomes. Procrastination feels like a foreign language now, one you no longer speak. You've outgrown it. You've evolved past it. And when others around you struggle with the same cycles of delay and disappointment, you become a light. Not because you preach, but because you prove. You show what's possible when someone finally decides they're done waiting for the perfect moment and chooses to act. And here's what's truly powerful. The longer you live without procrastination, the more time slows down for you. You realize how much you can accomplish in a focused hour, a locked-in day, a determined week. You no longer fear the clock. You bend it to your will, because while others waste days, you create results. While others make promises, you build proof. That's what your life becomes now. Evidence, evidence of action, evidence of resilience, evidence of what's possible when someone lets go of every excuse, every delay, every comfort zone and says, "This is my life. I refuse to waste it." And even when the path gets hard, you keep moving, because hard doesn't scare you anymore. You've seen the cost of comfort. You've tasted the pain of unrealized potential. And nothing terrifies you more than going back to that. So you don't retreat. You rise in the morning before the world wakes. You rise when life punches you in the gut. You rise when others fold, when others flee, when others freeze, because you are no longer held back by hesitation. You are no longer ruled by doubt. You are no longer waiting for the stars to align. You are the alignment. You are the force. You are the reason things move. That's the level you've tapped into now, and it's not a phase. It's a permanent shift, because once you've lived a day in full power, you never want to go back to powerless. Once you've experienced the momentum that comes from decisive, focused action, you can't unfeel it. It becomes your fuel, your compass, your code. You don't entertain distractions anymore. They're beneath you. You don't waste time defending your goals to people who don't understand them. You're too busy making them real. You don't seek balance between procrastination and productivity. You've burned that bridge. There is only the mission. There is only the outcome. There is only the work. And the work, day after day, builds the life. You don't need more time. You need more action. You don't need more inspiration. You need more follow-through. You don't need another plan. You need to execute the one you already have, and that's what separates you now. You're done with the talk. You're done with the stall. You're done with letting time slip through your fingers while your dreams sit collecting dust. So let this be the reminder you carry into every day. Procrastination is a habit. But so is action. And now, action is the only habit you feed, every single day, no matter what. Because the version of you that used to delay, that version is gone. Buried under the weight of your consistency. Replaced by the warrior you've become. And what begins to blossom in your life is something even deeper than productivity. It's peace, real peace, the kind that only comes when you lay your head down at night knowing you gave the day everything you had. The kind that silences anxiety because you've handled what needed to be done. The kind that builds an unshakable internal calm, not because your life is perfect, but because you showed up fully for it. That peace is a reward no app can deliver, no comfort can substitute, and no shortcut can replicate. It's the reward that only action brings. It's not loud or boastful. It's quiet, it's deep, and it's earned. Every time you follow through when it would have been easier not to. Every time you finish something you used to delay. You stack that peace higher and higher, until it becomes the foundation of who you are. This isn't about being perfect. You're not a machine. You'll still face moments where old patterns whisper again. But the difference now is you don't listen. You hear the whisper and respond with movement. You don't let the mood of the moment decide the direction of your day. You're driven by commitment, not comfort. You've developed a level of self-awareness that lets you see procrastination coming. You catch it in its early form, when it tries to disguise itself as just 5 more minutes, or I'll get to it after this, or I'm not in the right headspace yet. You know those lies. You've heard them before, and now you override them with truth. The truth that doing just one small thing right now changes everything. The truth that momentum isn't given, it's created. And the more you honor that truth, the more unstoppable you become. Your reputation changes. People notice your discipline, your reliability, your energy. You become the person who gets things done. Not just because it's your job, but because it's who you are now. You've trained it into your identity, and that identity becomes magnetic. It attracts people, opportunity, and success. Not because you're chasing them, but because they follow consistency. They follow reliability. They follow people who take their time seriously, who respect themselves enough to not squander their gifts in waiting and hesitation. You don't need a perfect strategy anymore. You just need action. You don't need the stars to align. You need the courage to begin. And the best part, every single day, you wake up with the chance to reinforce that. To live it again, to choose now over later, do over delay, discipline over distraction. This is your edge. This is your weapon in a world drowning in excuses and delays. You've earned this power through repetition, through willpower, through effort. And now it's yours to keep. So protect it, guard it, feed it. Feed it by honoring your schedule, by showing up when you say you will, by finishing what you start, by acting even when no one's watching, especially then. That's how you win, not just once, but repeatedly. That's how you dominate the space between where you are and where you're going, and you will get there, because you're done letting time slip by unnoticed. You're done letting energy go to waste. You're done standing in your own way. You're here to build, to act, to create. You're here to live fully, not eventually. You've said goodbye to procrastination, and you meant it. Now the only thing left to do is everything you've been waiting on, because you're not who you used to be. You're ready. You wake up tomorrow, and everything is different, not because the world has changed, but because you have. The lens through which you view your time, your choices, your responsibility, it's all been sharpened. You no longer see tasks as burdens. You see them as stepping stones. You no longer see your goals as distant dreams. You see them as outcomes waiting to be earned. Every hour is an asset. Every decision is a declaration, and every action, no matter how small, is a testament to your commitment to never again be ruled by delay. Because this isn't just about getting things done. It's about becoming someone who finishes, someone who follows through, someone who honors their potential through consistent and deliberate effort, someone whose life one day will be studied not for what they planned to do, but for what they actually did. And let that be your legacy, not unfinished ideas, not lists of intentions, but mountains moved through sheer discipline and the refusal to give in to the pull of procrastination. You said goodbye and you never looked back, not because you never feel like delaying again, but because you now understand what's at stake. Every time you act, you carve a little more of your future out of the stone of possibility. Every time you push forward when it's hard, you remind yourself that comfort is cheap, but greatness is earned. You don't waste energy hoping to feel ready. You just move, you just begin. You just trust that progress, however imperfect, is more valuable than any amount of flawless planning never executed. And over time, you realize something profound. It wasn't about doing more. It was about becoming more. Becoming someone whose word means something. Becoming someone who can trust themselves. Becoming someone who looks in the mirror and sees not just potential, but proof. So whatever it is you've been putting off, start it. Start it scared, start it tired, start it unsure, just start, because once you do, something beautiful happens, you gain momentum, you gain belief, you gain control. Procrastination only has power in stillness. But you're in motion now, and nothing, not doubt, not fear, not resistance, can stop a person who refuses to stop themselves. You're free now, and freedom feels like this: doing what needs to be done when it needs to be done because you said you would. Say goodbye to procrastination, say hello to your full power. Now go finish what you started.